Well, welcome to another episode of Real Estate AI Flash. And today I have a top agent team leader from Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Fox and Roach Realtors in the Robbinsville office. Sharif Hatab is with us today.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah,
Rajeev.
Sharif, glad to have you here. I know you and I were talking about AI on your podcast a little bit not that long ago. And I said, I should have Sharif on our podcast because after all, our podcast is about real estate and AI. So for the listening audience, I'd love for them to get to know Sharif a little bit. I know you're a very top team in the Berkshire Hathaway network, not just at our company. And you are making things happen with you and your team. So I'd love for the audience to kind of get to know Sharif and bring us to today, your background.
Definitely. Thank you, Rajeev, for having me. Thank you for everything you've done for me. I've known you for a while now, and you've always guided me in the right direction, not only with AI, but before that with tech. Just I know we used to talk about CRMs, the stuff that nobody wants to talk about. That was the stuff that we talked about.
Yeah.
So thank you for all that. But yeah, I mean, I started my career in 2007. I think you were there for the majority of that time, right? So the fact of the matter is, I started just helping friends and family. I was a dual career agent. And my main, income was my IT business and my marketing company. So, I was doing that for a while where I had pretty much, three jobs at one time. And so I've always been used to just managing different things coming at me. But then I started to get really busy in real estate, and I started to realize, the potential of it, and really the point of building relationships and being able to help people, right, on a major scale too. And from that, I started myself getting too busy, and I had, a lot of, business coming in, systems we were developing. At that point, I developed our team, and I found that mentorship was another, thing that I was striving for. So that helped with that portion of what I was looking for myself personally. So now we have a team built out primarily in Mercer County. We're out of the Robbinsville office. And yeah, I mean, we love it. This is what we do.
Yeah. How big is your team? Talk about production 2024, just for the audience to.
So pretty much 2024, our team hovered around 14 to 16 agents. At this point, we do have 14 agents again. We do have high qualifications to stay on our team and things of that nature. But last year, per our actual reporting that we have on our side, because we do on-market and off-market transactions, we were at 165 transactions at 53 million.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, so obviously your team is you select a certain type of agent for your team, right?
Yeah.
I'd love to chat with you about a custom GPT I built for disc profiles and finding the right people.
Oh yeah, we have every agent do a disc profile actually.
There you go. Yeah. Sure. So so what was your first? I know we're a little over 2 years now with this Gen AI movement, with ChatGPT launching, and it just feels like it's going at an exponential pace. The type of innovation that's happening. But what was your first light bulb moment, Sharif, with AI?
I mean, every moment I use it, honestly, I don't know. I mean, I used it when it first came out, and I was like everybody else. I think the light bulb moment is when I just plugged in a bunch of food options. Like I have chicken and spinach and all these different things, and it produced a recipe for me and the directions for it. And I was like, holy wow. I mean, from that little moment, I was like, this is amazing. This is like a simple problem I've had all my life, and just like that solved with AI. So I think that was my initial aha moment. But honestly, Rajeev, the reason why I use it so much is because I have these moments every day with it. It just doesn't make sense. It's like a genie in a bottle for me, right? It's like I ask it anything and I'm getting anything that I ever thought about and ever wanted, right? So it's crazy the power that's in AI.
Yeah, so I feel like it's my second brain, way smarter than me I would ever be, because it knows so much, right? So it's like the second brain why would you not tap into it, right? Yeah. So you're the first guest, by the way, Sharif, and I asked for light bulb moments. Everybody talks about, the low-hanging fruit, like listing descriptions. I had to write a poem. But you did something very interesting, right? You picked all these things you had maybe in your refrigerator and have it write a recipe for you.
Yeah, it was like chicken, spinach,
Yeah,
pasta. I was like,
so
let me see
cool.
what it could do.
Yeah, for sure. So let's dig in a little bit to specific things you and or your team are leveraging AI for, right? Categories of work.
Yeah,
So
I mean everything really. I use it on a daily basis. It's great for me. I'm still looking into getting the Plod device. I was actually clicked on your link off your website to get that $10 off too. I appreciate that. I try to use it for as much as I can at this point. Right. The reason why I want the Plod device is I want to analyze myself at listing presentations so that I can improve on myself and also have the documentation for my clients to present to them. So that's in its own ball game. That's my future usage I want to do.
yeah,
But for right now, just like you said, listing descriptions, marketing, doing different things like that, creating flyers at this point. I mean, I dropped up early on the latest fad with the action figure and included the prompt to show agents the power of AI. But just on different scripting for videos, do that with AI as well. Lead follow-up automation, writing different, automated emails in our CRM. You were the one recommended the CRM to me when I first started using
yeah,
it. And building the automations in there, just customizing things. Because as you use AI, it starts to learn about you. Like it keeps a database of you. Like my prompt always starts with what you know about me and how I am. Like, now answer this, right? So it's usually like that. But with training and coaching as well, I do these monthly masterminds. I train my agents all the time. I also coach agents across the country. Just content, different ways of helping people. The presentations that I actually create, I'm doing it through AI. I mean, it's endless. I have agents on the team that'll print out an MOS, right, for a buyer, highlight the important things, upload it to ChatGPT, and be like, what should I talk to my client about? Give me some highlights and pointers. I just used it for our book club. We're reading Barry Jenkins' book, Too Nice for Sales right now as a team. And we have a book club every Friday. So I got key points to talk about on our book club. So I don't know. I use it for everything, really, Rajeev. It's
awesome.
crazy.
That's awesome. So, to your point, I mean, creating content is a big piece of what agents do, right?
Yeah.
They're telling, and I believe, and this we'll add a link to this custom GPT in the show notes. I believe the best agents are the best storytellers, right? Marketers are storytellers, right?
Right.
And most people struggle to tell compelling stories.
Mm-hmm.
So I built a custom GPT where you just share all the details of the transaction, and it will give you books of storytelling. So I think there's several ways to use it, and I would love to know. You mentioned presentations, Sharif.
Mm-hmm.
What are the tools? What is Sharif's AI tech stack? Right.
I do a lot of chat. Like
we've gone from subscriptions like Netflix, this type of subscriptions. I'm now in my AI subscription mode. But I would love to know what are your tools, go-to tools?
I mean, honestly, ChatGPT is really my go-to. I do a lot of Jasper. I use Jasper because it's got a great plugin for on-the-fly editing. I mean, things are starting to adapt to that.
Yeah.
Even Gemini, on like your phone. Apple, I think it's got its own built-in one within its actual system as well. So we're using AI. We don't even realize we're using it, but those are like the common ones that I'm using on a daily basis. And then, I started getting into like deep research, but I'm still always like, I'm just comfortable with the chat platform, right? And there's specialized things you could use, but I don't think I'm using AI, say, to the highest level where I have this specialized tool for everything. And that's really where I focus. And the thing, like when I'm doing presentations, I know there's different tools that we have a list of that we actually use, but it's not very common that we're straying away from really the main one of just ChatGPT.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's what I recommend to the listening audience is foundation. Just kind of get your bearings down, prompt engineering, all of the things that you need to do with a chatbot model. And you and I met at a breakfast not too long ago, and you mentioned to me about Canva and some of the image creation components. I
Yeah.
know you also have a VA. Do you use a VA
Oh
service,
yeah.
right? So let's kind of get into how do you, obviously, Canva component, but also as you're selecting agents and VAs for your team,
Mhm.
is there a level of proficiency you're looking for them to be embracing AI so they can actually do more for you? Just kind
Yeah,
of,
I mean, but really, it's just them embracing technology, right? That's got to be the mindset anyway. Like someone who's not using a like a computer or a device, like a smart device,
yeah,
heavily is probably not going to get into AI. So that's always been, our game plan is try to find people that are more tech savvy because I'm a techie, right? Like that's my background. Like it's IT. Like I'm the one that was building computers in high school, right? So like that's just my nature. So I naturally I want those type of people around me so that we have that synergy and interaction and kind of challenge each other. So that's really what we look for anyway. And yeah, of course, we have those questions, and it's not like everyone is going to be superior in AI. Just have just some type of just moments with it. Just try to use it and try to incorporate it into your daily activity because people will start to realize it's not about changing you or replacing you. It's about making you better, right? It's about actually taking all the stress. Like if you didn't have to remember all the notes of something, you can copy it. Like I take notes from somewhere, copy it all in, and just give me the summary of this, right?
right.
And otherwise, I'd have to go through, highlight everything, and figure it all out. Why do that? Right? I already have the information, or if I can record a meeting and it can provide me all the notes for it, that's great. That's one less thing I have to do. And then I can use my time because it's all about time management. And it's the best time saving tool. So if we have people embrace that, it's going to make them more productive.
Yeah, and I was listening to a podcast recently. This will fascinate you. I was listening to a podcast recently that talked about has our productivity increased with technology adoption? So this is like the smartphone era, like when iPhone just first came out, and they studied the last 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, employee and people productivity hasn't really changed with the smartphone, like a couple of percentage points. Um, this is more on the business side, not personal stuff. And AI is going to unlock some serious productivity enhancements. I mean, just for me, Sharif, I don't know if I told you this, but I looked at what I did pre-AI and with AI. I've realized in my role, 35% productivity.
Yeah.
I just tracked it for like 4 weeks, pre-AI, post-AI hours and time, and it was 35%. And I feel like I can get to like 50, 60%. I'm just still in my journey as well. And I don't think in our lifetime we've seen a technology that actually has a productivity enhancement gain of that magnitude with anything
No.
we've done. So I think we're still scratching the surface. And I love some of the stuff that you shared around it. So any comments on that?
No, definitely. I mean, we're definitely scratching the surface. It's almost like the first days of the internet, right? It's like every day there's something else that's new. It's like I can't even keep up. It's mind blowing.
Yeah.
And it's going to change everything. I mean, and just you're right, it's going to make you more productive. That's what you got to remember. It's like you can focus your energies on other things now. I mean, I want to take it to the point where we can just automate our systems on the back end, right? If we can just set off, certain tasks. I mean, I'm involved with different companies that are doing like AI voice technology. But imagine you take a listing, you put it in, boom, done. And now an AI agent contacting your client, booking the appointments. It's an AI system that's actually booking the appointments, coordinating with everyone, bringing it all back, and you just get a report at the end of the day. Like that's what my vision is. That's why not? We can simplify it now, right? And again, we're not trying to replace people. We're trying to enhance the systems, enhance the possibilities, and really it just makes you more productive to focus on the relationship aspect of things.
100%.
Right?
Yeah, I feel like I'm a firm believer. I'm in the camp of where it is designed to amplify human intelligence, not replace it.
Yeah.
And then the other piece you talked about is if you can replace the mundane with the meaningful, which is spend more time because of the productivity enhancements with revenue generating activities, client relationships, right? And that's really where it's headed. And the more you understand it, and I don't think any of us should have a goal of keeping up with AI. That's not possible. except for the couple hundred people in Silicon Valley and maybe a few people in China. But I think what you should feel FOMO about is, as you're listening to this episode, you can't be in the same spot this time next year. Because I believe there will be a separation season with AI skilled agents and people that aren't skilled with AI, right? So I think the more automation you build, and the agentic workforce is coming, right? And like you mentioned, AI agents for a variety of things. The other piece that I'm very fascinated, Sharif, I mean, I'm a big, like, most agents can talk. Okay, if you're not going to be in the business if you don't talk, and you can phone calls. So I believe voice computing with AI is going to explode.
Yeah.
Right? Like, imagine not having to learn a CRM versus just talk to it, and it gets done. Right? I think that's where we're headed. And imagine the type, you don't have to train people much because everybody can talk. Yeah, a little bit of prompt stuff, but I'm seeing solutions already in the space where they interface with a solution like Follow Boss or Bull Trail, where you simply talk to it. Good morning, here's what I'm doing, and it updates records, it does things. And imagine 3-4 years from now, like, you don't need to learn stuff. You just need to talk to it. I think
it's amazing right now. I'm involved with one of those type of companies at this point. It's called Forward Flow.
Yeah.
And it's a snap-on for Follow-Up Boss at this point initially. And that's what it's going to do. It's going to analyze your system. It's going to make your phone calls for you. It's going to book the appointments. It's going to give you, like, everything that you need at a snapshot. And working on the ability also just to talk to it instead of clicking different things, being able to dictate what you need to the system as well. And that's the future of it, right? Like, I sit there and I just talk. Sometimes I argue with ChatGPT, to be honest with you, because it's just not listening. But the fact of the matter is, it's great because you can just, I do it on my phone sometimes too, and you just use voice, and you just talk to it and use it as an assistant. And that's really what I tell people all the time. Just think of it as like it's assisting you, right? It's like your ultimate assistant that knows everything about anything to do. And it's a great tool. Why not use it?
Yeah. And I've heard this quote the other day that made so much sense. The most powerful programming language of the future is going to be natural language.
It's going to be what?
Is natural language. Like, you could just talk to
Oh,
AI,
yeah, definitely.
Right? I mean, yes, there is a heavy technology behind AI, but for people to use it and leverage it to gain the advances, you just need to talk to it.
Right? Yeah, exactly. You do.
Yeah.
I have one of my buddies, he's a real estate agent in Detroit area, Ben Lang. He was actually on our podcast, I think last month. And he told us, like, he actually in the morning, it's one of his like things he does is he pops open ChatGPT and just records his thoughts, everything he's thinking about, any struggles he has, just talks it into chat and just analyzes and asks chat, what should I be doing about that? What should I do for this? Give me your suggestions on that. And why not? I mean, now you have some way to, because my goal is always to, as well as just improve yourself a little bit every day, right? Now you have the ultimate coaching tool. Like, it can do that for you.
100%. Yeah. I mean, and now with the recent announcement, I don't know if you caught it, but it remembers everything that you've chatted with it from the time you've been using it. It's a setting in your settings. You can just go and turn it on, chat history. So at this point, as you start to use it, like I don't know, you got on ChatGPT in October when it first came out in November 2022?
Yeah.
So if it's the same account, you just simply turn it on. It knows the history of everything you've talked to them. And as you go further, it's just going to be that much more valuable to you, right?
Oh, yeah.
It knows everything, right? So, and yeah.
I mean, think about the power of it. I mean, even like, say, for instance, an AI version of yourself, or even your thought patterns for like your loved ones after you pass away. Imagine that.
100%.
Like, that could be like a time capsule for a person. And really, we can take this to a whole different level, right? Yeah. So it's honestly because you can totally record everything that you felt, everything you thought about, and just it could read who you are. And it's a great. I can't believe like people would not want to use that.
Yeah. No, I've been telling my kids, like, WWDD. What would Dad do once I'm gone? Right? You can just ask ChatGPT's a custom version of it. You just ask him, what would Dad do in this situation? And it's almost, yeah, that's a whole other topic for another podcast,
No,
right?
no kidding.
But this has been fun, Sharif. I mean, I appreciate you taking some time, and I'd love to get into a couple of anything else you want to add on the AI stuff that you or your team is doing.
No, I mean, you just, if you haven't used it, try it. Like I just even got one of my clients. I did the whole food thing in front of one of my clients just the other day, and just got them to just, just want to just try it just a little bit.
Yeah.
But if you're using it now, just keep trying what you're doing. And really sharing it. Like, thank you for like having this podcast and just being able to share information with others as well, because we're all on this boat together. Like,
Yeah,
it's changing. You know what I mean? Every single day. So, no, but thank you for this, Roger.
yeah. That's the reason I started the podcast, to make AI approachable and actionable for real estate agents, because it's such a vast set of knowledge. On the topic of food, so I did something that I think you'd appreciate. My parents have come from India for a long time visiting us. She gave me her recipe book, or she wrote all the recipes, mom's recipes, in mom's handwriting.
Yeah.
25 pages of like different stuff that she's made over the years that I love. So I just took pictures of all of it, uploaded to ChatGPT, and gave me a nice, well-written thing that I could understand. My mom's recipe book is a
That's
project.
amazing.
I
That
just
is
go,
amazing. I've been
right?
thinking about doing something like that. Like, I need my mom's recipes, man. But I don't
Yeah,
think she'd ever write everything down. Like,
she
I might have
probably
to go
could.
to the voice way of this.
Voice way, you
I might
could.
have to do translation from Arabic to like English too.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, look, with everything that's going on, I'm sure they can translate that too. So this
Yeah,
is
no, it's
fun.
a great idea. I love it.
This has been fun, Sharif. I'd love to
Yep.
ask all my guests a couple of questions as we wind down the pod.
Mhm.
The first one is, you run a very successful team, 53 million, 15 agents, growing year over year. What would be your advice? And this doesn't have to be with AI, anything that's on your mind, your number one piece of advice you'd give to your younger self if you were starting in business today that would help our listening audience?
I mean, I would tell myself, don't wait to build your systems. I
Mhm.
think like the systems that we have are really like the structure of our team. And before I had them, I was scrambling. I was the guy with the spreadsheet in his back pocket. And I would say, don't wait to build your systems, and always be coachable, you know, and try to find mentorship early in the game. You're scrambling. I tell people I talk to all the time that, real estate's a vast ocean. And it's very hard to navigate that ocean as a single fish. So find someone that's been doing it for a while. Those are just, definitely things that I would say, and then definitely document everything that you're doing. Right.
Mhm. Yeah.
You definitely want to document it so you can work on the processes, and you can increase your production, increase everything that you're doing tomorrow. Right. You can better yourself. Those are things I would definitely suggest.
Great advice. Great advice. Yeah. And you're an example of doing that. And as a matter of fact, when you reflect on your journey, if you had to start again, you would implement all the things you did early on in your career versus later, right? That's the power.
First. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
we do it first.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's powerful, powerful message, and hopefully our audience will learn from that as well. So, final question is: I don't know if you're a podcast or a book person, Sharif. I know you have
Yeah,
a book club,
notebooks.
you host a podcast. I don't know which one you are, but
Yeah, I do a little of both.
I think we all do it in some capacity. But I'm sure there is a book or a podcast that has been deeply influential in your journey. If you had to pick one, what would that be for you?
Oh my God, there's so many. But I mean, I think The Go Giver
Mm,
is a really good book. I think that's one of many
yeah.
that I really loved. I tell people about it all the time. All my coaching clients. It might be our next book for our book club with the team. I think just having that mentality, the abundance mindset, and just trying to give back. Really, like I'm at the point where I'm just giving it all away. Right, just give it to everybody. And I think that's what everyone should have, that mentality. I think that's a great book for that, but among many that.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, look, it's hard to pick one. You know that.
Yeah.
But Go Giver is a tried and true methodology that I think applies not just for business but for life. You know,
No.
right?
I think I've seen that you probably read it, and your life is run by that book too.
It is one of my foundational books for sure.
Yeah.
It is definitely a classic for me, lifetime
Yeah.
classic. Bob Berg, I think maybe that's.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But,
the Audible is great too. That's how I got through it too. I mean, it's a great story though. My God, it's great. Well written.
Yeah, very well written. Yeah. So Sharif, this has been fun. I appreciate you taking the time. I'm sure our listening audience will get a ton of ideas from it. And you've shared a couple of things that if they can just run with those, I think they'll get a lot out of it in their journey to become an AI skilled agent. So
Awesome.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Rajeev, for having me. Have a great day.